Give me 2 seconds. Story 7 has the detail that makes the whole situation feel staged. These viral Reddit stories start normal, then one tiny choice turns them into a problem nobody agrees on. Story 1 starts with the kind of moment most people would ignore. This sounds simple at first, until you hear what actually happened. A regular tells me to smile and now ties it to my tips. I work at a Chinese buffet and there's this guy who comes in alone pretty often. Every single time he comes in, he tells me to smile or asks why I'm not smiley. Today I sat him, got him his drink, and as I was walking away he loudly said calm down, and everyone in my section turned and looked. It was really embarrassing. Then toward the end of his meal, he waved me over, held out a $10 bill, and said smile for me. I smiled because I didn't know what else to do, but honestly it made me really uncomfortable and irritated. I'm there to do my job, not to be told how my face should look. I'm not rude, I'm just focused. It's starting to feel less like a harmless comment and more like he enjoys putting me on the spot. I'm just wondering if I'm overreacting for feeling this annoyed and uncomfortable about it. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. The scary part is how ordinary the first warning sign felt. Story 2. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. I need a reality check, because this situation got messy fast. Waste not, want not. This happened years ago. I was out to breakfast with a friend and she decided to have some jam/jelly on her toast. The restaurant had those little tubs of different flavors of jelly/jam on the table, so friend reaches over and opens one. She looks at it, decides it's not the flavor she wants, reaches over again, opens another one and does the same thing. She starts to reach for a third one and I said, "Hey, you know the flavor is shown on the top of those, right? You don't have to open it to see what the flavor is. You just look at the top and it's there." She puts down the one in her hand and goes through the jelly until she finds the strawberry. I mentioned that it was wasteful and she replied that it wasn't her problem. We finish breakfast and she wants to take home the leftovers including the toast I didn't eat. The waitress brings over a to-go container and I tell my friend that if she wants to use the restroom I'll pack everything up. She leaves and I took the jelly from both of those open containers and spread it on my toast before packing it up. Not sure how a grape jelly mixed with orange marmalade tastes, but that's what she got from the leftovers. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. The scary part is how ordinary the first warning sign felt. Story 3. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. This sounds simple at first, until you hear what actually happened. GF, F24, likes my M25, nose a lil too much, is TS weird? So I have a pretty big nose. It is one of those aquiline ones with a high nose bridge. And my GF is a bit too obsessed with it. At first she would just kiss my nose and stuff and it was kinda wholesome. But now she literally rides my nose. With previous GFs they would ride on my mouth and I would lick their clit. But she just puts her whole pussy on top of my nose so that her clit is rubbing against the bridge of my nose and the whole tip of my nose is inside her pussy. Even when I go down on her sometimes she asks me to stop licking and just fuck her with my nose and rub my nose bridge on her clit. I'm also becoming a bit self-conscious because she honestly seems to prefer my nose over my dick or any other part of my body. She can come very easily when doing these things with my nose but not with regular penetration or fingering or oral. I talked to her about it and she said it is normal, and I don't want to judge her and I don't really mind it, but it seems kinda weird idk. And also idk if there would be any health issues if I put my whole nose in her pussy. Does anyone else do this with their GF/BF? Is this normal or weird? Thoughts? I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. That is the moment where most people would pretend nothing was wrong. Story 4. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. This sounds simple at first, until you hear what actually happened. Grandma said follow the recipe exactly, so I did. At my grandma's place, sometime last year. She has those old handwritten recipe cards and doesn't like changing anything. I asked if I could adjust the salt a bit and she goes no, follow it exactly. Okay. Recipe said 1 tablespoon of salt. I measured it out properly. Honestly looked like a lot but I didn't say anything. Put it in. Food comes out way too salty. She takes a bite, kinda pauses, looks at the card again. Then at me. I said I just followed it. She just goes, well you're supposed to use your head too. Really? Next time she told me to just do it by taste. I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. And this is exactly why the comments could not agree on what they would have done. Story 5. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. I was trying to keep it together, but this situation broke something in me. I saw something at Walmart that completely changed my definition of romance. I went to Walmart today and I saw this at the checkout line. The line was moving kind of slow, and this adorable old couple, maybe in their 70s, was ahead of me. The guy was looking worried about some tea item, his receipt, and said something along the lines of, "Sorry honey, I know you wanted the green box." My mind was just not present. I thought she would be mad at him because there was a lot of traffic and the employees were looking stressed as well. But instead of that, she put her hand on his arm, and looked at him in such a loving way. I have never seen someone with so much sincerity. She then said something along the lines of, "Honey, I have been drinking tea with you for ** some number of years **. I think she said 40, and as long as you are with me drinking tea on our table, I don't care if it's green or not." That very moment I realized that I had been deceived into thinking that love has to be some grand romantic gesture or some big, fancy gift etc., and that here was what love really meant: graceful patience over the little things that go wrong. I didn't tell them that or interrupt them, but because it happened in front of me, I saw and understood what was important now. I wanted to share this with you guys because it helped me remember that normal, boring love is the most beautiful kind there is. Now we are getting divorced, and I still cannot believe one wedding changed my life like this. And this is exactly why the comments could not agree on what they would have done. Story 6. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. I thought I knew who was wrong here, but the details changed everything. Customer asked for a refund after eating. I just saw someone at a restaurant finish their whole meal, then ask for a refund because it wasn't what they expected, something like that. Store staff didn't make a big deal out of it, but it was kinda awkward. Anyone else seen something like this? I still do not know what I would have done differently, and that is why this story stuck with me. The scary part is how ordinary the first warning sign felt. Story 7. This one feels normal for about 10 seconds, and then it turns. I need a reality check, because this situation got messy fast. Pico de Gallo girl. Friday night, 30 minutes before close, I get sat a table of 3. A little disheartening, but hey, money is money. I greet them and ask what they'd like to drink. Guy 1 orders a normal drink, girl 2 orders a normal drink, girl 3 wants hot tea. Okay fine. Annoying, but it's my job, so here damn. I bring them their drinks and ask what they'd like to order. Everyone orders and girl 3 asks what sides we have. I start naming everything under the sun I can think of: truffle fries, garlic fries, onion rings, Caesar salad, mashed potatoes, etc. etc. She decides on a side of broccolini and fries. After that she asks me what our best proteins are. I tell her shrimp and chicken are my favorites and she decides on a shrimp taco. Here comes my favorite part, her: "Do you guys have pico de gallo?" Me: "No, I'm so sorry, we don't." I wish we did though.